Well, good evening. Welcome back. Thanks for starting off another week with us. It's Monday. It's the 19th, and that means we are officially welcoming in spring calendar-wise tomorrow, simultaneously with a winter weather advisory that will be in effect tomorrow night into your Wednesday. Kentucky weather, gotta love it. We're talking about, some accumulating snowfall, some showers first, changing over to some snow, and definitely more of a winter forecast than a spring, but there is some sunshine and clear days at the end of your forecast. Not at the very end, because it kind of comes back to another little chance of some precipitation that we'll have to talk about. But man, winter weather advisory in effect for tomorrow night into your Wednesday morning, the first official day of spring. A lot to talk about tonight. A semi-incident over the course of the weekend in Salyersville, in which the driver was able to get back up and running. 2 people airlifted from a serious ATV or UTV accident in McFarland County. A case of identity theft, a man arrested as somebody else, per the information he gave authorities. I will tell you what they learned, and I'll tell you what I've learned in regards to some more details on Colonel Bolin. I broke that story to you on Friday where he'd been arrested, serious charges. I've got still some more details to come, pending maybe some additional charges by the McFarland County Sheriff's Department, but we've learned a bit more about those charges that resulted in him being jailed again last week, just a few weeks after being released from prison for that shooting that took place here in McFarland County years ago. With that said, we'll talk about your local headlines in just a second and that winter weather advisory that I'm getting a good chuckle out of, because that's about the only way I can handle it. We, however, have to start from this point further, not one but 2 fatal auto accidents in eastern Kentucky over the course of the weekend in Pike and Breathitt counties. We'll begin in Pike County, where around 12:45 this morning, just shortly after midnight, a vehicle was traveling on Kentucky Route 194 in the Kemper area of Pike County when the fatal collision occurred. The driver was in a pickup truck. He was traveling westbound. He veered into the oncoming traffic, or the oncoming lane in the eastbound lane, and did hit a minivan. The pickup truck driver was taken to the Pikeville Medical Center. However, the driver of that minivan, which was struck, has been identified as Monica Miles. And Miss Miles was pronounced dead at the scene by the Pike County Coroner's Office. The exact cause of the crash, except for the vehicle crossing the center line, still unknown at this hour. More details to come. Details coming now out of a fiery crash that claimed a life in neighboring Breathitt County, where the county coroner there, George Griffith, has now officially identified the driver of the vehicle as a young man, 23-year-old James Sizemore. State police were spending many of the hours in the early morning hours today trying to identify the man who was found in a burned vehicle, and then the formal identification coming just this afternoon, 23-year-old James Sizemore. The crash happened sometime, or was reported sometime around 2 o'clock this morning. Someone found or saw a vehicle on fire on Kentucky 1098 in Breathitt County, and they believed someone was inside, and that was confirmed. They know that the vehicle in question veered off the road and struck a tree before it burst into flames. It was completely engulfed in flames upon arrival of EMS and law enforcement personnel. They were able to remove the body from the vehicle, and it has been sent to the state medical examiner's office, and now that formal identification has been made. Well, it was a busy weekend for local EMS here. Nothing as serious as that, so fortunate, but nevertheless, there were some serious calls of emergency. A side-by-side accident involving actually some medical personnel, at least one of the victims, and some other responding incidents requiring response from our local EMS and rescue personnel, and I'll pick it up with those reports next.
Need a family car? Need a work truck? Need something to haul with? Maybe to hunt with? Or to just get from A to B? Then call John Harris at Gateway Motors in Salyersville on the Mountain Parkway and get pre-approved with no money down and with most payments under $200 a month. Gateway Motors in Salyersville, 349 cars.
Appalachian Wireless says no contract, no credit check, no monthly bill. Well, no problem. Yes, Appalachian Wireless is at it again and proving why they are the region's best wireless provider by offering new forward pay pricing. A plan where you can bring in your own device and get 5 gigabytes of data for just $39.99 and unlimited data for just $79.99. Pay up front and get the data and features you want. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Some restrictions may apply. Activation fee is extra. See store for complete details. Unlimited data is loaded 25 gigabytes per month to 512 kilobits for phones and tablets.
Hello, friends and neighbors. I am running for sheriff because I want to work hard to make our streets, schools, and homes safer. I am a certified police officer and a graduate of the Department of Criminal Justice. I will put my training and experience to work for our county, and I will work hand in hand with all other agencies. As a parent and officer, I know our kids are the most important resource, and I will do my very best to protect them and continue to tackle our drug problem. But I need your help. Please vote and elect Michael Nichols for sheriff, number 4 on the ballot. Thank you, and God bless.
Your single largest investment in life is most always your home. And whether they're necessary or optional, a weekend project or a major renovation, we can help finance your home improvements and make your vision a reality. Spring is almost here, so it's time to get ready, get set, and improve with Salyersville National Bank. Call or drop by the main or branch locations today.
Hi, I'm Attorney Jeff Lovely. At my law office, we're determined to offer you and your family outstanding, cost-effective, and responsive legal services. I can help you if you've been injured in a car wreck. I'll be in your corner if you have a DUI or other criminal charges. You can file bankruptcy and stop those harassing phone calls, or I'll fight for you and your children in divorce and custody cases. For all your legal services, contact me when it matters. In Salyersville at 349-4522, and West Liberty at 743-1965.
The following incident tied up more first responders than it did traffic, I do believe, given the fact that it happened after midnight. But this semi was transporting and listening a little too closely to his GPS, perhaps. As we all know, that can sometimes result in taking the road less traveled, so to speak. But in doing so, this semi dropped off the road and became nearly overturned, as you'll see here.
The McGoffin Sheriff's Department and McGoffin Rescue Squad received a call just after midnight Friday night about this incident on 460 west, going out of Salyersville. The vehicle, a loaded semi, over 30,000 pounds of goods going to the Family Dollar warehouse, I believe in Rowan County or in that direction, I believe in Moorhead, from South Carolina. And this was a new road or new direction of travel for this driver, and nevertheless the trailer got just a bit too close to the shoulder and started to tip over, and then did, as you can see here. Adams Record Service of Pressenburg was called and spent a few hours actually. They were on scene from midnight till about 2:30 in the morning, uprighting the truck, getting it back on the road, and getting the driver on his way without any injuries or other incidents.
These are some images brought to us from an ATV accident over the course of the weekend. It was actually late yesterday afternoon or early evening, around 6:30, 6:45, when 2 people from Wolfe County were seriously injured, both life-flighted from the scene of the strip job near Tip Top.
Authorities believe the 2 were ejected from the ATV, but that's still under investigation. Upon their arrival, they actually found the side-by-side, I believe a Polaris model, if you will, already trailered up right at the accident scene from where it happened. But they did find 2 people which were several feet away from the machine, both seriously injured, a male and a female, both from the Wolfe County area, both enjoying a day of riding in the Tip Top area on the strip job. Were seriously injured, both life-flighted. One of them actually a nurse, as I understand, and both actually employees of the Pikeville Medical Center, where they were both life-flighted too. Happened about a half mile down the ridge or so on Tip Top. Failed to negotiate a curve, and it looks as though from video, as you can see from the machine, that it did roll over at least once, if not numerous times. We do believe ejecting both the operator and passenger. The female lying on the ground complaining of serious back and pelvic and other injuries. The male was walking around but suffered a serious injury to his one of his arms that would require a trauma center. We know that Kentucky 9 did respond to the scene and landed, I believe that's Kentucky 9 there, and took one of the accident victims to Pikeville. Wings 3, the only other air unit available out of Jenkins, landed on the scene on the strip job and took the other victim to the Pikeville Medical Center as well. Injuries serious, do not believe, however, life-threatening.
A new week and a new community calendar, all brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau, and all starting now.
A reminder, kindergarten registration starts this week at 2 of our 3 elementary schools, South McGoffin and Salyersville Grade School, North McGoffin Elementary's kindergarten registration starts next week, 8 to 3 o'clock, of course, for all schools. There's their respective phone numbers. If you have any questions, just a quick reminder, you have to have your child's physical and an eye and dental exam as well. Tomorrow is going to be the last day for the Chronic Disease Self-Management Workshop Series at the McGoffin County Health Department, 2 till 4. This series brought to you by the Big Sandy Healthcare family, as well as the McGoffin County Health Department and Reach EKY and the McGoffin County Senior Citizens. Tomorrow, 2 to 4 at the Health Department. I think managing stress, the topic of tomorrow's discussion. The SAFE and Teen Coalitions in McGoffin County meet this Wednesday at 1 at the McGoffin County Health Department. That meeting at 1 o'clock. That meeting open to the public. Your invitation is before you to come and join them and support their cause. And I've got a couple of, well, I'll get to those in just a second. I cannot believe Easter is next weekend. It is. And on that note, got one for you kids, an Easter egg hunt, a community Easter egg hunt. McGoffin Rainbow, Salyersville Masonic Lodge, McGoffin OES, DPP, and other agencies all coming together, and they're putting a bunch of eggs together, and they're going to hide them Sunday at noon at the Ramey Park. So be sure and join them for a monster Easter egg, community Easter egg hunt, Sunday at noon. These two a little farther on down the line, I'll mention them periodically until they happen, because you got to plan for things like this. The Spring Open Bass Tournament hosted by North McGoffin Fire Department, Saturday the 14th at 7. That is going to be, I'll make sure I get the right flyer here. That's April the 14th for the one at North McGoffin. April the 28th is the one hosted by the Salyersville Masonic Lodge at the Paintsville Lake. So find out more details by staying tuned here, or to contact any fire department or Mason to learn more about those tournaments. Big cash prizes, big fun to be had, and we'll keep you up to date and reminded of all of them. And real quickly, there's your reminder on how to get announcements and birthdays and anniversaries too on the show. Services were held earlier today for Maxine Prater Salyer, 94 of Lee Prater Street, who I told you briefly on Friday passed away last week. She was preceded in death by her husband Arville. She survived by daughters Melaine Gamble and Verlet Marlene Russell. Burial was at the Salyer Family Cemetery at Stinson earlier today. And services were also held today in Richmond for William Travis Lunsford, 73 of Sadieville, who passed away on the 15th, formerly of McGoffin County. He was married to Shirley Lakes Lunsford, who survives, as well as daughters surviving are Kelly Smith and Heather Rice. Burial followed at the Viney Fork Baptist Church Cemetery in his honor. Once again, that was for 73-year-old William Travis Lunsford. Catherine Allen Howard, 78 of Middle Fork, passed away on the 17th. She was married to Wishart Howard, who preceded her in death. She survived by her sons Danny and Darrell and daughter Dora Ann Montgomery. Visitation is this evening and then before services, which will start tomorrow afternoon at 1. Visitation and services from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. A burial will be afterwards tomorrow at the Howard Allen Cemetery at Craft Creek. In other announcements this evening, 79-year-old Helen Rose Reisner Francis of Shoney Branch Road passed away on the 17th. She was married to Palmer Francis, who preceded her in death. She survived by her sons Dwayne and Eddie and Hassel Francis and her daughter Teresa Bailey. Visitation will be this evening in her honor and before services that start tomorrow morning at 11. All of the above, visitation and services from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with burial following at the Patrick Cemetery at Bloomington. I also have an announcement to be made tonight in the honor of 78-year-old Richard Florian of Big Branch Hollow in Banner, who passed away Saturday, survived by his wife Marilyn Green Florian, sons Rick Green, Raymond Jones, daughters Mary Fultz, Kathy Sundberg, Joanne Wren, Michelle Marshall, Amy Nuremberger. And funeral services in his honor are going to be held this Wednesday at 1 from the Salyersville Funeral Home. Visitation will begin Wednesday after 10 and prior to services that day in his honor. We'll be right back. Yes, Logan makes the best truck bodies on the market, and they also have a fully stocked warehouse of dump body parts, PTOs, hydraulic pumps, hoists, anything you need to get back on the road. And they are a full-service steel and aluminum service center. They keep I-beam, channel, angle, pipe, round rod, rebar, expanded metal, sheet metal, and aluminum all in stock. And if you've got a big project, they do commercial manufacturing to your specs. Logan, since 1904. Your best solution for diesel performance, upgrades, service, and repair is also a full-service repair center for all vehicles, gas or diesel, from routine service to major repairs, with a trusted auto body shop for minor dings to full-on restorations and rebuilds. Plus, get all your 4x4 accessories, lights, bumpers, winches, and more at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Salyersville. 349-8785.
Hi, I'm Bill Mead, and I've dedicated over half of my life to law enforcement and protecting my community and family. In my 29 years of service, I've received several federal accommodations for my part in major drug cases. I have 17 years experience in narcotics investigations. 10 of those years as a sergeant with the Kentucky State Police Drug Enforcement Special Investigations East Unit. I've received the highest level of training in criminal investigations, and I know exactly what it takes to successfully see a criminal case through the state and federal court systems. As your McFarland County Sheriff, I will review every investigation and ensure that you're treated with respect and dignity. My name is William Bill Mead, number 3 on the ballot, but number 1 for McFarland County. Thank you.
To all of her current and future patients, Hope Family Medical Center and Big Sandy Healthcare are proud to announce that pediatrician Dr. Leslie Ann Dotson has joined Big Sandy Healthcare's new Physicians for Women and Families complex in Oxshire, where she's now a part of a team of 3 OBGYNs, 2 family medicine physicians, and their nurse practitioners. That's Physicians for Women and Families, open Monday through Friday at 23 Willow Drive in Oxshire, a part of the Big Sandy Healthcare family.
Hey everyone, my name's Tom Sager. I'm from Salyersville, Kentucky. I want to welcome all of you up here at the new store, Pop Chevrolet. We got a great parts department, great service department. More than anything, we have vehicles. We have over 700 on our lot. So please give me a call, stop in here at Pop Chevrolet. My phone number is 606-886-9181. My cell number is 496-6242. Thank you and stop in.
Catch the early spring specials before they're gone. A new shipment of mowers, push, rear, and all-wheel drive walk-behinds, trimmers, air compressors, power and hand tools, and more. Plus new shipments of guns and ammunition every week. And don't forget, they'll always loan you cash today on anything worth $1 at Parkway Gun Pawn.
Talk to you about tonight, one with an update that I'll have in just a second, the other involving a man who was arrested for fleeing and evading on foot, disorderly conduct, and taking a car, and he was arrested, and then after being arrested and while still in jail, found out to be someone other than who he said he was.
Officer Maynard with the Paintsville Police Department got a call from a Paintsville business about a green car that had driven by several times and seemed suspicious in nature. And when the officer got there, he saw the vehicle that matched the description of what was given to him. And as he approached the vehicle, there was a man getting out. This man saw the officer getting out of his cruiser or pulling in, and the man took off running down Pine Street, ran through a yard. The officer then called over the radio about the man running on foot and trying to flee him. The suspect then crossed a small creek, ended up behind a set of apartments, and the officer saw him go between the apartments, making it out to Broadway Street, and that's where other officers arrived and cut off this man. Officer Mitchell and Sergeant Ramey were able to make the apprehension. The man started yelling and cursing and causing alarm to customers at a nearby business as well, and he was arrested for fleeing and evading police in the second degree, disorderly conduct in the second degree, unauthorized use of the motor vehicle because he had taken the car that he was driving from someone else without permission. And then, about a couple of hours later, on the same day, yesterday's date, Officer Maynard got another call about the same subject who was already in jail, who had just left at the jail. However, he said that the officials were telling him that he wasn't who he claimed to be. That's when the law enforcement officer said that he was given the name initially of Christopher Prater with a DOB and a social security number, but that Gregory B. Gibson was the actual suspect, that he was giving his brother's information to him because he had active warrants for himself. So they finally straightened it all out, and now with the original charges under his correct name, Gregory B. Gibson of Staffordsville is also charged with giving false information to police and theft of identity from another for stealing his brother's information and giving it to police to try to pose as him.
One of my top headlines Monday night was the arrest of Colonel Lewis Bolin, who had just been released from prison this past January after serving 7 years for shooting 6 people, seriously wounding 3, but 3 who all survived, amazingly. Nevertheless, I'm still waiting some more details. As I told you on Friday, the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department said or indicated that more charges might be pending. We're still waiting on that, but I can tell you tonight, per some more court documents, the other details that we have related to his arrest on Friday.
This was the scene of that January shooting, 2011 and 2013. Bolin was sentenced to 20 years, I believe it was, of which he served almost exactly 7, being let out 1 day shy of 7 years, which was, of course, just this past January. And in that short few weeks, he's already been arrested on 2 separate warrants. Now, the case that I told you about that comes out of McGoffin County last week was a complaint from a woman in the Goat Mountain area off Salt Lick who stated that she didn't want him at her residence, but he'd been there. She was very scared of him. He came back after she'd told him to leave, had been around in her living room, would not leave, and that she had guns in her residence that she was fearful that he might get a hold of, and he was also asking to buy a handgun if anyone had one for sale, saying he had the cash. He made comments that he was going to kill the public defender in his case from 7 years ago as well, and the Sheriff's Department charged him with the charges you see here. The new information goes back to the case out of Knott County, which he was also arrested on with an outstanding warrant. A warrant had been sworn out on March the 15th, just earlier this month, a few days ago, that Bolin had committed the offense of assault in the 4th degree and terroristic threatening when he pinned a man between the car door and the car of his vehicle, if you will, and repeatedly slammed the door into the victim. And they say that Bolin then got away and ran about 50 feet and picked up a branch about 3 feet long and threatened several times to kill that man in Knott County, kill his wife and kill his grandkids, and then said he was going to go get a gun and take care of that man and his wife. And there was a warrant issued for him for that incident, which he was arrested on here in McGoffin County as well. And there's no way to speculate as to why he was wanting the gun in McGoffin County, if that was related to that incident or not. But nevertheless, he is jailed, facing parole violations as well. And also, we're still trying to find out more about facing potentially new charges here in Salyersville, McGoffin County, per the Sheriff's Department investigation that's ongoing. I'll keep you up to date. Via a text message just a minute ago from our state representative, I now have a breaking report to add. Happenings from our state's capital earlier today. It's a follow-up from a report that I aired Friday. Let me take a quick break. I'll get to that and your weather forecast, your wintry spring forecast, in just a second.
I'm Attorney Don McFarland. We all know that times are hard. Jobs are scarce. Most people that I know are struggling to support their families and make it through each day. Now imagine that you get seriously hurt while working on the job, and the insurance company for your employer refuses to pay wages and benefits while you are injured and cannot afford to pay medical expenses, household bills, and put food on the table to support your family. I can help. If you are being wrongfully denied workers' compensation benefits that you rightfully deserve, then give me a call and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
Conley's does oil and fluid changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, and more. They've got thousands of tires in stock every day, and they won't be undersold on any tire they sell. They've got 6 months, same as cash, and over 37 years of service to the viewing area. With no appointment necessary, or you can call 297-2424. They call it the Fiver, the 5 spot, names for a $5 bill. And now you can add a new one. Best lunch deal ever. Because every weekday during lunch at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe, for a total of $5, that's $5 taxes and all, you can get our famous chicken sandwich or 2 of our famous chicken biscuits with potato wedges and a drink, or our steak sandwich or 2 steak biscuits with wedges and a drink, or our famous foot-long hot dog with homemade chili, wedges and a drink for $5. That's 5 deliciously awesome deals for only $5. Every weekday from 11 to 2 at your Salyersville Lee's. It's not just jewelry, it's a movement. Handmade bracelets by Little Words. Pick one with a word that resonates with you or reminds you of someone who might need a little love, a word to encourage or uplift, or wear one that inspires you and pass it on. The Little Words Project hopes to inspire a culture of kindness among women, young and old. Pick out one that you think will inspire someone you know, or pick one for yourself and see the happiness spread when you give it to someone who may need the same reminder you did. Available now at the Seasonal Shop in Salyersville. Just a few moments ago, literally about 5 minutes ago, received a message from Frankfort from our state representative John Blanton in regards to House Bill 185 after passing the committee last week after some controversy kind of arose to which he addressed during our show last week. Nevertheless, it passed the committee unanimously last week and has since, per a vote today on the House floor, passed unanimously as well. The House Bill 185, the line of duty death benefits bill, which will change if it's passed in the Senate and affect, of course, dramatically, of course, the wife, now widow of Scotty Hamilton and his small child, but it will change benefits for those who are killed in the line of duty from 25% to at least 75%, and also, of course, has some other impacts as well. And it, according to Blanton, passed, once again, him being the sponsor of the bill. He said proudly it passed earlier today with a unanimous vote. It now goes before the Senate, where we'll keep you up to date on its progress there. Now, let's talk about your weather forecast. Nobody looking forward to this one, I don't think. I mean, just because spring officially starts tomorrow, and that puts us in a mindset to, hey, it's finally over and it's here. Well, it never really works out that way in Kentucky. We always have a winter hit or blast, and sometimes both, after spring officially arrives. And that's what's going to happen this time around, to the tune of maybe a couple of inches of snowfall. We are under a winter weather advisory, 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Well, Wednesday morning, technically, tomorrow night, Wednesday morning, until about 8 o'clock Wednesday night. Snowfall expected. There are predictions out there and models saying up to 3 inches. That's in the upper elevation. We're going to, over the course of, let me get there slowly. Tonight, let's talk about tonight. Showers will be on their way later. Mainly after not 10 or 11 for us, I do believe. We'll see maybe 3/4 of an inch possible. So a good little soaking tonight. And then rain likely tomorrow, mainly after 4 again, 55 for your daytime high on Tuesday. And then by Tuesday night, rain maybe changing to snow around 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock. That's when that winter weather advisory goes into effect. Wednesday morning, we'll see that rain change over to snow, possibly an inch or less Wednesday, and another inch or less Wednesday night. So literally we could see near nothing, and I'm thinking maybe up to 2 inches for the maximum. But we'll see temperatures fall down to 38 and 24 for your Wednesday, and definitely I think we'll see some snowfall. Accumulations, totals, an inch would be a good guesstimate, an all-around number for everyone right now. But you could pick up 2, very possible, as we see that changeover late tomorrow night, technically around 2 or 3 Wednesday morning, and it should continue throughout much of your Wednesday. With a little rain, of course, in the middle on your Wednesday, but snow early and snow late, maybe adding up to an inch or 2. Thursday, 46 and clear and sunny, and it's all gone. Friday, 51 and mostly sunny. Showers, guess what? Roll back in for your weekend. They hit town late Friday night. Showers likely on your Saturday with daytime highs in the mid-50s. 57, partly sunny, but a chance of showers again on your Sunday.
And that's going to do it for getting caught up from over the weekend. We'll pick it up and look ahead starting tomorrow night for the next edition of Your News Today. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.